Hello? You? Oh, hello, and welcome to another episode of Low Tech Health. Let ourselves translate expert knowledge. Today is a Wasabi Walnut Wasabi Matame Wednesday. We're continuing our theme on sleep. Today we're thinking of recovery and the importance of recovery with good sleep. My hospital has started allowing patients to have family members present again, and it makes me happy. I'm glad, because as much irritation as it comes with having family members ask 1,000 questions, come out to the desk, ask for straw, I prefer your family member breathing out of a straw, but sure, I will get the forgotten drinking straw. As annoying as that can be, just them having 1,000 questions being another bundle of anxiety, they are also a tremendous source of support, especially when well utilized. And seeing this all the damn time, we as nurses follow orders. Physician directed care is fantastic. I would not be in healthcare. Sorry to say, my fellow nurses or nurse practitioners, I would not be in hospitals if it wasn't a physician run system. If it was just based off of I don't even know how nurse practitioners do it. Do they do differential diagnosis? I don't really know much about how doctors do it. And to put it abundantly clear, I'm not a big fan of how they run things. A lot of probability and statistics, treating the patient as a set of equations and formulas rather than a person who is capable of healing and recovery. But I hopefully will be talked out of it at some point, but I see medicine as a way of taking the perfect structure and putting it inside someone expecting to heal, as opposed to what reality I would believe is you take this sick person and put them in the perfect environment for them to heal. But putting medicine that's the perfect formula in them is the best system we have so far. And I love it. I love it. As much problems as I have with it, it works more than it doesn't. We can do scans. We can check brain activity, heart activity. The gut is a tricky one. I was in the old surgical area of the hospital last night, and this poor patient. When Wasabi Walnut was hurting my tummy Wednesday before surgery, don't eat. We tell you, don't eat by that midnight. Don't eat anything after midnight. That doesn't mean eat everything that you were going to eat that next day at midnight. It doesn't mean make sure you eat as much as you can, because you're going to starve for those 8 hours, 10, 12 hours that you don't eat. It doesn't mean gorge yourself. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this patient that I had last night is not recovering so well from her open cholecystectomy. Her gallbladder was inflamed, so they plucked it out. And unfortunately, she may have not complied with the kneel per os order before surgery. Kneel per os, nothing by mouth. We tell you that not only because you could puke something out of your stomach and breathe it down your lungs and die. It's called aspiration pneumonia. Not a great way to go. Drowning above water, wouldn't recommend it. But also with general surgical services involving the abdomen, you're a FOS at baseline. You are full of stool. And if you think going 6 to 8 hours is going to help alleviate that 29-foot funk-filled free-for-all, you're wrong. Try to slow your eating over the next days leading up to surgery, if you can. Sadly, for their population that needs to eat, can't eat, patients who can eat don't need to eat. You have chemotherapy patients and cancer survivors who need to eat. It would be great just to have them constantly gorging themselves with a wonderful appetite. But their bodies muted it because they're being filled with toxins. Which, if only our wonderful human body would recognize sugar as that toxin. I don't know how correct this is, but try not to eat so much if you're going to have surgery in the next days. Leading up to it, maybe a week. Cut back on whatever it is that's extra. You know what's extra. Empty calories. Remember that. Starting the soapbox. It's difficult in the sleep and recovery, explaining to people that energy reserves are just that. Energy reserves. We eat to get energy. When you eat more than the energy you expel, you create energy reserves. That's what fat is. It's glycogen stored tighter and tighter, more tightly and more tightly into what's called adipose tissue. Very, very fatty, and it is demanding oxygen constantly. You don't need that much energy. Let your body figure out what to do with it. Go without eating. This has become a very pushy fasting, Carol Baskin style call to arms. And I didn't mean for that become this podcast is supposed to be about sleep and recovery, which poor sleep will lead to insulin resistance and can cause uncontrolled glucose throughout the body because your body stresses. Like right now for me, I've been up all night. My body's stressing. It's telling me to go to sleep. Stop rambling about fat people. Shit, you're getting angry again. I've tried to make it a more curious place for my heart, but there is so much trouble in my gut and my stomach. What's hurting my tummy Wednesday? Seeing big fat people. Because they're sick. And it's not a mystery. It's not something emotional. Certainly, as nurses, we're missing that come into the hospital, make you feel like you're going to heal. It's hard to be that psych support for these patients. They need it constantly. A lot of them really need a tremendous paradigm shift that we cannot offer. And it hurts to see 500, 600. I saw a 900-pound patient whom they had diuresed. The team had made piss out 100 pounds of himself already. Struggling to breathe because they're short of breath. And I hate to say it, this is it. You're not short of breath. You're long of body. I love you. See you in 2 days. Don't forget my foul mouth Friday. Have a wonderful Wasabi Walnut What's Hurting My Tummy Wednesday. Peace out, Girl Scout.